A cream? Yeah. Ice cream? Ice cream social. Here we go.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Ice Cream Social, man. You already know the vibes because your boy Mondo in the building.
What's good? What's good? Rampage Nueva, Jay Young in the building.
Free Spirit Superstar, we back at it. And today is a special day because we got a good friend of mine. You know, serial entrepreneur, Instagram influencer, real estate investor, you know, fitness guru, fitness gym owner.
Talk that.
You know, Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
Nah, you slick forgot the most important though, the father, the husband.
You know,
That's
we gonna
crazy.
You know, daddy, happy.
Yeah, Pappy.
Husband, married, you know, husband. So, you know, today should be a nice fun day, you know.
For sure. Let's get after it.
Right on. Appreciate y'all having me. Let's get it.
Definitely.
Let's get it.
He bringing the energy.
Yeah, you already know.
All right, well, let's just go ahead and jump right in. So, Roy talked about you being a serial entrepreneur. Go ahead and talk to us about some of the business ventures that you currently have going on.
Man, shoot, this stuff that I can't even post about because, man, but we going to talk that talk on Ice Cream.
Okay, you did.
But, so DYC Fitness, that's my everything. So
Okay.
we started that, and when I say we have a business partner as well, started that in May of 2021. So we just passed up 2 years, right downtown Indy. I'm born and raised here, so it was important
Okay.
for me as somebody who loved fitness to tap into the fitness industry here in town and kind of bring it to life. So DYC Fitness, and then also I'm recently tapped into real estate as well. Real estate investments on the side. I'm all about, I'm trying to create generational wealth, and one of the cheat codes to life is in real estate.
Oh, God.
And just because we look the way we do doesn't mean we can't also create generational wealth too. So, and then also, obviously Instagram, that's a business in itself. I mean, it's through the roof. It's skyrocketed within the past, I would say 24 months. I've worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, and they're paying me top dollar. So I'm thankful and blessed for that as well. So, yes, sir.
I'm gonna let y'all dictate where y'all want to go because
Okay.
my brain already went.
Yeah, nah, he just turned.
My
up real
my
quick.
brain kind of
I
went.
really like where you be going with it, you know, because you kind of.
No, okay, yeah, because I'm kind of like sporadic, you know.
Let's slow down real quick. So,
Yeah.
you got started. You went to Butler, right?
I
Speak
did.
on like your major. I seen that you minored in English, creative
Yeah.
writing. Kind of what led you to that, and
Yes, sir. I
know,
see you
speak
really
on
did
that.
your research.
man,
I
I
love
tried
it.
to-
I love it.
I
I
tried
love
to,
it.
you
We're here
feel me?
for it.
Just a little
We're
bit.
here for it. Yeah, so I'll even back up even before. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
We're here for the research, man.
I'm here for the research. So I'll even back up a little bit. Like I said, born and raised Lawrence Central High School on the northeast side of Indy.
Okay.
Played football and baseball there all throughout high school.
Baseball.
Football, baseball. Yeah, we play baseball too. You feel me? So, and then after that, I was better at football, so I went on to college for that. Winding up at actually a D3 school called Thomas More, was in Kentucky. Played my freshman year there, did well. Then I ended up transferring to Butler, which is D1 AA, so it was transferring up for me. And then football really just took off for me. Majored in exercise science there,
cool.
minored in English. And really, I didn't even know what I wanted to do with my life outside of football. Kind of how I treat life, how I treat fitness now and business now. That's how football was for me originally. Again, that's something you can't find on Instagram because I don't really talk about football anymore. But that is something that I loved in my past life. My dedication towards it, the weight room, everything. Like, it was always football, and there was no plan B. It was only plan A. And then at Butler, like I said, majored in that. And then really my football career really took off. I really excelled at Butler, all conference, all American, all that type of stuff, captain of the team, all the accolades, I probably got them at Butler. And then went on to play a season in Australia. Well, let me back up because the world going to be mad if I don't talk about this. Let me back up. Had a pro day at Ball State because Butler's such a small school. We don't have pro days. So, again, I was highly sought out. I had talked to some scouts heading into my senior season. Worked out for a couple teams heading into my senior season. I'll even speak on them. Worked out for a Houston Texans scout heading into my senior season. Worked out for a Cleveland Browns scout heading into my senior season. I just ran for them. They actually came to Butler, which was kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
They came all the way to a small little Butler. People
Right.
don't even know we have a football team.
Butler football
So that
at
was
that, yeah.
exactly. So that was a really big deal. I'm talking. They pulled me out of class. My coach called me. I'm in English class. They talking about, hey Jeremy, a scout's here. I'm like, yo, what? Like, oh, mama, we made it. Like, what you mean?
Oh, God.
We made it. So, so I ended up running a 40-yard dash. Again, this was heading into my senior season. Again, had a great senior season, but I was kind of like what they call a tweener. I was too small to play D-line, but too slow to play linebacker.
I was wondering if you were going to get into the position you played.
Yeah, I was too slow to play linebacker, maybe not athletic enough at the time. And so the Colts ended up bringing me in for a private workout that after my pro day. It was for like local talent. Some of these guys they were all D1 talent. IU was represented there, North Carolina, Minnesota. All these big time colleges, they were there. I'm competing. We lining up next to each other. Even though I'm coming from a small school, it's like, let's get it. So anyway, didn't end up going to the league, obviously. So I went to Australia, played a season out there. And then after Australia, I came to play in the Arena Football League. I played for the Iowa Barnstormers. Fun fact, Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame quarterback in the NFL. He's obviously a lot older than me, but it's the same team he played for before he went to the Rams and before he had a Hall of Fame career. So the Iowa Barnstormers, that's kind of our fun fact. But I played for a season for them. And then after that, I was like, not really making a lot of money from it. I was still had dreams of going to the NFL. But for whatever reason, I was like, man, I'm done. So I came back home and pretty much just started personal training from there, and I haven't looked back since. So that's kind of my backstory, and it's kind of cool to even say that out loud because I don't get a chance to talk about that too much anymore. But yeah, that's kind of I just kind of shifted that love for football and kind of shifted it into fitness, and now it's more so, all right, fitness is great, and I'm still building that. I got my gym. Just signed for our second gym last week, so we got two DYC Fitnesses locations. One on the north side of Indy, one downtown.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
So no, it'll hopefully be open by September. The second one, the first one's already open. It's been open for a couple years, but I want these everywhere. But I took my love for football. I shifted it into fitness. Now it's like more so like I have a love for business now. I have a love for growth and growing companies. I have a true passion for that. And so that's kind of my backstory and how I got to be where I am. And I kind of took that same acceleration and my passion and my drive and all that type of stuff. The same thing I did on the football field, I'm just doing it in business now. So that's just where I am.
I kind of want to go into that because,
Yeah.
I've had, through that timeline you was explaining, we've been friends.
Oh, yeah. You saw it all.
That whole time. So during that whole timeline of you explaining your football journey, I know personally that is when you started your fitness journey. And you always played sports and was an athlete, but you kind of started redefining your body and getting into different habits to change what type of athlete you were. Can you kind of speak on how that journey started and then how that was able to transition into business?
Yeah, so it kind of ties in with the hard work part. I've always been a hard worker, so even the stuff that has kind of transpired in my life now, like people who know me very well, they're not surprised. Because I'm a firm believer if you work hard towards anything, it's just gonna blossom, period. I don't care what it is. So, but as far as my fitness journey, when I got done playing football, I was like, man, like I got all this weight on me. They had me eating whatever. They needed me heavy anyway. So I was like, I've always worked out. I've always been, in the gym. That was a hobby of mine, and it still is. But dang, let me see, let me start following my nutrition as well. And so again, the most I've seen on the scale in my lifetime is about 287. And so after I got done playing football, I just started cutting back. I started with, maybe I won't drink as much pop or soda, or okay, maybe I'm not going to eat as many burgers this week. And I just start slowly cutting back. Nothing's just a snap of a finger. It's a habits that you got to build, and that don't happen overnight. So I really just started cutting back. And then all of a sudden, I looked in the mirror, I started feeling myself, you know what I mean? Like, and the confidence comes from that too. And so, people start telling you about dang, Jeremy, you looking good. And then I started giving these, hey, Jeremy, what are you eating? Like, and I started, hey, here's what I'm eating. Here's exactly what I eat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go follow it. You can lose weight too. And they was like, oh, dang, 3 months later, I lost all this weight. Thank you, Jeremy. But I was giving that info for free for the longest. And that's when we was like, my business partner and I was like, yo, we need to start a business off of this. So we ended up starting an online business called Disturbing Comfort in 2017. And that really kind of took off during COVID. And we got all this capital. And we were like, yo, let's open up this gym with this capital. So my point is, like, I think my hard work kind of ties in with my fitness journey as well, because once I'm honed in on something, I just have tunnel vision. I just keep going. And again, going back to the compliments, like, shoot, you start feeling yourself, you get more confident, you get better, like all this type of stuff. Everything just starts being, it's like a positive, like, snowball effect almost. And you see it in all areas of your life. So, but yeah, man, that's kind of, and now I own a gym, 2 gyms now. So now I gotta stay looking like this, because if I'm asking people for top dollar, I gotta look like something.
No,
so
for
yeah.
sure. I got a question, kind of, and you've been alluding to it, and
Yeah.
that was a great question, Roy. Because so you basically are describing this formula that you figured out, like, with being an athlete, and then you translating it to, like, your business ventures and stuff like that. So, like, when did it click for you that you could use basically that same drive and that same formula?
Man,
And how important is that for everybody watching? You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? You can use that, and it don't matter what avenue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's basically the same formula.
yeah. When I clicked for real was probably when we opened up the gym. Probably when we opened up the gym, I was like, yo, like. And we started seeing people, you know, really paying to come to our gym and paying. We put out this product, we put out this service, and people are actually enjoying it and using it and losing weight, and they're seeing their fitness goals. And we don't even do contracts; it's all month to month. But even the month to month, people keep coming back. So I was like, "Yo, I think we're on to something."
Yeah.
And so I think that's when it clicked. Probably when we in 2021, when I was like, "Yo, we're on to something. We can rinse and repeat this too." So, yep.
fire.
Yep.
So when it comes to owning a gym, or actually let's talk about that first investment, right? So when you say you raise your own capital,
Yeah.
for a lot of, African Americans and for a lot of minorities, the hardest part is raising the capital.
Man.
So what was it difficult to let go of that money you had worked so hard for to then reinvest in yourself?
Yes, because when I say the capital, it wasn't a ton, but it was hard. But also, they always say you're an accumulation of the people that you are closest with, who you hang with. And my business partner and I are such on the same wavelength. We kind of stepped out on faith too. It was like, it was a pandemic. Everything was shut down. Gyms were shut down, literally everything. And we had to step out on faith. And we were like, I think we can, post pandemic, I think we can really thrive in this personal training style gym where it is one-on-one, where it's not just a whole bunch of people around, and it is very tailored and customized and all that type of stuff, and it is kind of exclusive. And it was hard to let that capital go, but at the same time we had just such a great vision. It was like, it's gonna come back. That's not easy. That's not, you gotta have to practice that. That's scary, right?
Yeah.
That's scary, quote unquote.
Yeah,
It's a risk. It's a big risk, but I will say this: I do have a supportive wife at home as well. So once I got her, it's like, let's get it. You know what
So
I
I
mean?
was actually going to get into that. So how
Yup.
difficult was it to reel her in?
Man, she's been a trooper. She's been awesome. It was, yeah. Go ahead. Yep.
Sorry, but yeah, how long you been married?
Yep.
And
Yep.
after
Family
we describe
man.
how long y'all been married, then
Yeah.
we'll get into how the relationship
Yeah.
is possible.
So August 6th will be 2 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate that. We got a baby boy at home. He'll be a year old, July 14th.
Okay.
Coming up in a few weeks. So, but nah, she's been a trooper. She's been very supportive. I couldn't ask for anything more, because I tell her all the time, I know I'm not an easy person to be married to, because I am. So, I got to do this. I am very, especially when it comes to business, I'm very impulsive. Like, I'm like, oh, dang, I see a good idea. It could probably make some money. All right, bet. You know what I mean? So I know that's, from a partner perspective, that's not easy. That might mean, like, I'm out all day, whatever. Like, I might mean I'm on phone calls at 8 o'clock, or that might mean I'm waking up at 6 a.m. answering an email. That might mean, like, I'm always on calls, whatever. And for me, I do have to find that balance. That's one of the main things that I always say, like, my brother's getting married tomorrow. My wife was like, what would you say your best advice would be for him? I was like, continue to date, because especially if you don't put an emphasis and a focus on, especially in marriage, on your wife or your spouse, man, you can get lost in the sauce quick, especially for somebody like me who does have all these extra ventures and who is trying to, grow as rapidly as I can. So, but yeah, been married for a couple years. She's been everything, bro, for real. So I couldn't ask for anybody better. Yeah, God knew that.
So that makes
Yeah.
me think, right? So you a handsome cat,
Yeah.
right? You talked about feeling yourself a little bit
Yeah.
earlier. Owning a gym and working in a pretty
Man.
big city, I'm sure you come across a lot of pretty women.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about how to keep it professional and maybe
Mm-hmm.
even how you stay, because I don't know your business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How you stay faithful or stay focused while growing your business and interacting with fit, beautiful people.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm a firm believer that God doesn't even bless you with things that you're not prepared for. Because me now, I wouldn't have been prepared for this 8-9 years ago. I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been prepared for this. Type of exposure. I wouldn't have been prepared for this type of clientele. Who you said like everybody's there fit. There's women there. They're fit. Everybody. There's good looking people in the gym. But I'm such a tunnel vision person now. Like I almost have like just blinders on to the fact that I just have a mission and nobody can stop me doing that. I got a great thing at home, my wife, my son, and that's literally who I do everything for. Period. Like I wouldn't be doing anything without them at all. Like they have even since my son was born, I just had I got an extra gear to me now. And extra focus as well. And I know that's not the same for everybody. I can only speak for myself, but man, just them two, man, I just got tunnel vision now for real. So, and another thing to kind of segue into the professionalism, like I wear a polo in there every day. I've been in gyms around Indy, and I will not say any names. I know every gym in Indy. We all, especially amongst the black community, we all know of each other at least. And they sometimes they in there in cutoffs and basketball shorts and all that type of stuff. Nah, I'm in there in nice Lululemon
Strictly
pants,
business. Strictly
a polo, DYC Fitness logo. Everybody's in there like that. So there's already a level of professionalism when you walk in. It's like, nah, this is not that. Because I've had clients come in there and say, oh, well, I left this gym because this guy was hitting on me. Oh, well, that guy fumbled the bag, and I'll give it to me. I won't fumble the bag, and now you're going to reach your fitness goals under my roof now. Period. That's how it is. So
Facts.
Yep.
And that makes me think of your clientele, right? And
Yeah.
like that could go from everything from getting new clientele from other fitness people, and even the demographic of your clientele. So, from my personal experience, a lot of people in the black community don't know about you, but your business is thriving and continuing to grow, and not all your clientele is black people. Can you talk about how diversified your clientele is and how you've been able to capture that demographic, although you're a person of color.
Yeah.
And we face a lot of different things in society.
Yeah, I would say, 98% of my clientele is white. And everybody in that gym knows that. But the two owners are black. The employees are white. But the two owners are black. So how were we able to capture that clientele? Man, I think it starts with our professionalism and how we're coming. Obviously, being prejudiced is real. And we just kind of, right when they walk through the door, even when we pick up the phone and tell them, hey, this is DYC Fitness, can't wait to have you. We just have to put in their minds that, like, yo, we are professional. We are, we're here. We're businessmen as well. We're here to run a great business just like anybody else is. And I think we, have done a great job of kind of breaking almost the stereotype that black people, are cheap. Black people only give discounts, all that type of stuff. Because when, just like if a white person comes in there, I will ask them top dollar just like I ask anybody else. And I won't apologize for that. So I think it starts with the professionalism, honestly. I just think, even kind of going back to the Butler question, I do think that Butler gave me a great advantage. I'm not going to sit up here and say it didn't. It definitely did. Versus social interactions, being exposed to white people. Butler was 4% black.
Yeah.
So everybody there was white. And I do think being there gave me an advantage for sure. I had to work hard to get there, no doubt about that. But versus some of my Lawrence Central teammates, you know, like there's a reason. I just think it gave me the advantage to being able to connect with a lot of different people who don't look like me. And I do think that's a lethal skill to have in this world.
For sure.
You know, you go on the golf course, they talking millions. It ain't a lot of us on the golf course. We're talking to white millionaires.
Yeah.
And if we know how to speak to them and move with them, shoot, we can get there too. And I won't, and, you know, we shouldn't apologize for that either. So I do think, you know, my experiences, you know, even playing football in Australia, being a predominantly white country, going to Butler University, a predominantly white, private, rich institution, and then also going to LC, which was a mixture of both. I do think a lot of those experiences has helped me kind of move the way I do, for sure.
So we've talked a little bit about your health journey. We talked about the at-home life with you being married, the little one. We also talked about, you know, we kind of dabbled into the fitness entrepreneurship bit. But Roy emphasized on the intro, serial entrepreneur. And you said one thing that absolutely caught my attention, and it's the real estate piece. So for myself, I'm really big into real estate. That's one of those things where if you go to my phone, I probably got like 10 different apps on my phone. Like it's just like an addiction. It's like a drug for me. I don't do drugs, but that's my drug.
Yeah.
So like for you, how did you get into real estate?
Man, so, you know, real estate's one of those things where it's like, I always thought it was untouchable. Like, I always thought it was, oh, dang, like I got to have X amount. I have to have so much money to tap into real estate. That couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. And honestly, I'm a big guy on YouTube. I don't read at all, but I'll YouTube anything. I YouTube podcasts. I'll listen to audio books on YouTube. YouTube University. That's how I learned 99% of what I know now. For real, is YouTube University. So, yeah, you hear me? So really, I just started, you know, tapping into how people are really building wealth, and everybody was tied to real estate.
You have to be.
Real estate. And I was like, man, how I tap in? How I do that? And so, again, I got with my business partner. I was like, bro, like, what we got to do? You know what I mean? Outside of just owning your own home, which, you know, I own my own home. We built our home last year now, but I'm talking about real estate investing. That's a whole different piece. And so really, I went to a conference here in town about a year ago, and they just told us everything they know about real estate investing and how to get into it. And we kind of took it and ran with it. We did our first flip home in Anderson, Indiana, a few months back. We actually closed on it in a couple days.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about that, man. We actually profited on it, which is kind of unheard of in your first deal. So I'm excited about that. But really honestly just watching YouTube and seeing how people are moving and seeing how people are building wealth off of it. And that's what made me tap into real estate.
So did you underestimate or overestimate how much the actual renovation would cost?
Oh, we underestimated it.
Oh, yes, that's how it go.
We was like 15 grand off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
that's
ugly.
how it go.
It was ugly. Like I said, we thankful to still profit, but man, we was off. Yeah.
So how do you determine where you want to invest? Like, what made you choose Anderson?
Yeah, so because the houses were so cheap, we thought that it would, less competition. Indianapolis is extremely saturated with real estate investors. People coming from California to invest here in Indy.
They are billionaires.
That quite frankly, I can't compete with.
Yeah.
They money talk a lot louder than mine.
Yep.
So, really, that's why we chose Anderson. We're like, it's an easy entryway. Like, there's not a lot of competition here. All the competition's in Indy. Bet, let's get it. And so we found a cheap house that we could fix up for fairly quickly. That we thought was going to be a lot cheaper than we thought, or than we actually paid for. But, it was definitely a learning curve. I probably wouldn't go back to Anderson again. I'm going to find my way back to Indy somehow, some way, just because the houses are going for a lot more in Indianapolis for obvious reasons than they are Anderson, Indiana. But that's what we're going for. Yes, sir.
This is no free promo, so I'm not going to shout out the author. There you go.
Appreciate that. Okay.
So it's all about how to find your emerging markets.
Okay.
So,
Disclaimer, bro said he don't read.
No. Well, I get it, but I don't do YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I do the books.
That's fair.
So the moment he started talking about, he's trying to find his next market, I'm like, okay, well, somebody gave me that as well as a gift. So I got to pay it forward to the next person. So for sure.
Appreciate that.
I got one more question for you about the real estate. So when it comes to investing, if I'm not mistaken, you're also in the Airbnb business.
Ooh, it's popping.
So how'd you stumble into that lane?
Ooh, man. Man.
Let's talk about it.
Man, my wife happy because of that, boy.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, man.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy wife, happy life for real, man. So Airbnb started at the end of April, so we heading into July now, and it's
This year?
of this year. So a couple months, right? Man, it's been a life changer. How I tapped into it, man. I had a client come into DYC, and he, for the longest, he started training, and he was training at like weird times. Like he was available at like 10:30 a.m., 11 a.m. Like,
Got to be doing something to be available at 11
why are you
a.m.
available right now?
Yeah.
Like most people come between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Paying the monthly fee 3 days a week though. That's the top dollar.
Yeah,
and
so he's super available. Okay.
and then I was like, man, how is he always available? I was like, one time, I asked him, I was like, man, what you do, bro? Like, how you making your money? And you come in here smiling, so I know it's good. You know what I mean? So he was like, oh man, I got 10 Airbnbs around town. I was like, oh,
he living great.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he told me everything he knows, man, and I'm thankful for it because it's been a life changer. So I got him around town here. It's work to get it started, but once it's started, man, it's just going. Man, I haven't had an open night since I started in late April. Every night has been booked. We sitting here right now. Every night's booked. They there now, sleeping good,
Making money
Soft
while you don't even know.
pillows, too.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Good soap.
Talk about why your nights are booked and how Indianapolis specifically is a good place for Airbnb.
Great question. Everybody who says Indy, I hate Indy, I'm leaving Indy. I said, I'm okay. Y'all can leave. That's more for me. I'll stay. Man, Indy is a cheat code for anything real under the real estate umbrella. The cool thing about real estate is such a big umbrella. There's flips, there's wholesaling, there's Airbnb. I think that's a branch of real estate. But go back to your question because I really got off on a tangent. But about why is Indy because you see what they're building up, the Indy 11 Stadium. What they're doing to the Pacers, like around the Pacers area, a Pacers arena. All these concerts that are here, all these conventions that are here. Like we're one of the most like accessible. Like we're really centrally located. Yeah. So a lot of these big companies are actually doing their yearly conferences here in town. That's bringing thousands and thousands of people, and they're coming to Indy. And what does that mean for people like me in this space? Oh, booked. You know what I mean? Indy 500. Oh, man, that's a premium.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Oh,
definitely. That's the
NBA
All-Star weekend.
February.
Super premium.
Ooh, I blocked, man, what?
Super premium.
All week. I'm talking, man, y'all better come with it. And if you don't, somebody else is.
Yeah, definitely.
And these people probably booking, probably not even going to the game. They just want to be in Indy.
Yep, they just want to be around the festivities.
They just want to be around the festivities. And, like, Indy, man, I'm telling you, it is a cheat code for real. There's a reason why California investors come here.
Correct. Less
Period.
permits, less restrictions.
Man.
People really sleep on what Indianapolis is.
Oh.
To your point, like it's not this. It's not New York.
It's
not
not.
LA. It's not Miami. It's Indianapolis.
It's Indianapolis.
And I think the sooner that white people love this place, man.
Right.
People mad we ain't got no strip clubs. No, it's like pay attention to really what's going on.
Exactly. There's a reason why they're building it up, like because they know that like they're attracting a lot of people already. So they're like, oh, let's keep making it better.
Yeah.
All these restaurants that are going downtown, Mass Ave, like all this, like there's a reason for it, and it's all,
To me, it's even though Indy, from a cultural standpoint. As far as urban life, they do a lot of stuff to damper it. Mm-hmm. To me, it could still drive a lot of professional businesses and a lot of professional interaction from people of color. Yeah. Because it's forcing you, if you want to make money, which there's millions and billions to be made here. If you want to do it, you got to be professional. You got to be clean cut. You got to have certain things. And then if you're able to tap into the dollar, another thing we could get into is traveling. And vacations, when you getting money, you could go to New York Miami, Cali, and stay there as long as you want because you've been able to generate. And that might be the thing to Indianapolis, a place you can generate money. But if you're really looking for like some contemporary urban fun, you might have to have your money up to go out.
Go
and
get your
do
money
it.
and
That's
go.
That's real.
Get your money and go.
So can you kind of get off into the traveling side of things?
Yeah.
You know, and how being in Indy and making money in Indy, how I see you on Instagram a lot. It
You a
seems
big
like you go all
traveler?
over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. You know, and that even started before I even, got with my wife. I just love to travel, and as I've been able to make money, I've been able to see a lot of the parts of the world that, a lot of people probably won't ever get to see. So I'm thankful for that, man. I've been all throughout Europe, France, Italy, Spain, England. I lived in Australia, been to Japan, Turks and Caicos, Jamaica twice. Oh man, I'm probably missing some. I know, but I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, and I'm thankful for that. And we as a family now, we do make it a point of emphasis to travel. They've even done studies that people who travel are just happier. You know what I mean? Not because I have to unplug from my day-to-day life, but more so just to enjoy life, because we weren't put on this earth to labor. We were put on this earth to, kind of be blessings and kind of enjoy as well. So we do make it a point of emphasis to travel all the time. So it's been cool to like obviously make the money to be able to do that and kind of see the world, because there's more to life than just Indy. You know what I mean? And I do encourage people to really step out and get outside of their comfort zone. And I know, hey, if you've only been in Indy your whole life, never been outside, man, I'm telling you, it's a whole world out here. And it probably has helped me, subconsciously. Like, it's probably helped me even with my whole, like, how I move now, because I have experienced a lot of different cultures as well. So, but yeah,
So, kind of an obvious question to go from there. What's been your most favorite place you've traveled, and why?
Yeah, man, I would probably say, Belize for our honeymoon. Belize for our honeymoon was probably, man, the water was so blue. It was quiet. The people were so nice. That's another thing. Not everybody's always welcoming, all that type of stuff. But Belize was just so different. Where we stayed, it was very kind of private. It was awesome, and we were there for I think 6 or 7 days. And we were able to enjoy off the resort as well. A lot of times you just stay on the resort. You don't really get to tap into the actual culture, but we were able to leave the resort kind of carefree as well. Belize was just very, very nice, and that was probably my favorite place for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then if there was one place on this big blue planet you would love to go,
Oh, yeah.
where would that be?
Oh, man.
Not my house again.
Yeah. Probably want to.
That boy fried.
Man, we've talked about, man, Greece is definitely on the bucket list.
Okay.
Trying to get to Santorini, man. Trying to get to Greece.
Yeah.
And when I say try, we going. We going.
It's something about that all white. The way them
Yeah,
houses is
yeah.
all
Oh,
white and the
man.
water's so blue.
They be putting it on the gram like, ooh, we got it.
Yeah.
So,
Figuring a date.
yeah, exactly.
That right there just screams linen. It just screams luxury.
Man, I'm telling you.
Bougie.
It does.
Man.
It does. I just got back from Napa Valley for my birthday last month. We was in Napa Valley, California.
Wine County.
The bougiest place I had. You talk about bougie, that was bougie.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I was in my
I was about to say,
element.
I'm here for that.
I
for
was
sure.
in my element.
Yeah.
I was
here
in
for
my
that.
element.
No dirt.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
come
good.
on, man. Come on, doing a little toast.
Hey,
What is it,
yeah.
a sommelier?
You hear
You
me?
better stop
Hey,
playing.
with the grapes on the side. You feel me?
They better stop playing.
Oh, yeah. It was good. So,
All right, let's
yeah.
get into it, man. Your gram popping right now, man. How did you get your gram popping? Do you put emphasis on that? Like, I know some people is like, they all about the Instagram. You don't seem like that type of person. So like your gram is popping and you still humble. Like just speak on that, man.
Yeah, so it really started, let me back up even years ago. I started talking about and posting about my fitness journey and how I started posting transformation pics. And that's really when my following really started to like really ramp up. And so from there, it was like random brands were reaching out to me like, oh, like we'll give you some free product if you sell this for 10% commission. I'm talking like, okay, whatever. That's where it really started. That was probably like 2017. It's 2023 now, and obviously I wasn't making any money from it. I was really just posting it just because I love posting my progress. People were seeing results off of it, and that's when I really started to gain my following. So I really started off just in the fitness niche only. Now that they consider me more like lifestyle. Even in my bio I say like all things lifestyle, family, fatherhood, entrepreneurship, all that type of stuff. But it really started as just fitness and posting my fitness journey. And so I really gained like a big following. I think I hit like 10K when I was like, I think it was like 2020, something like that. And so 10K sounds like a lot, it was a lot back then, but now I think I'm sitting at like, I think I lost a couple the other day. I think I'm like 94K, something like that. Yeah.
I lost a couple.
Yeah, I lost a couple, man, but over
You see how he just skated
Yeah,
back?
see. Well, now we have to go there with it, okay, right? So we got to go there now. So, similar to Jay Young, I was doing my research, so I noticed aqua blue check.
Oh man.
Was that pre-existing or was that the subscription?
Yeah,
joint?
but no, that's pre-existing, man. I
Okay.
had just got it, man, and so a lot of brands that would even say like, I'm surprised you don't have a verification. I'm surprised you don't. And then finally, I just got it. So
Okay.
I was
Bro,
thankful for that.
it's
Yeah.
Funny story when it comes to that, because he has the personality that thinks of that. Because 2 days before the whole Instagram being able to pay $15 a month for verification, bro hit me up, sent me a text. You feel me in the morning like, bro, we in there.
Nigga, we made it.
2 days later, that come out, and I'm like, dang, I already know everybody about to think bro paid.
Yeah, but then they look at King's Hawaiian, Oreo, Coca-Cola, Wheat Thins.
Yeah, talk that
You know
talk.
what I mean?
Talk that talk.
They look at Men's Warehouse.
Yeah.
They look at Total Wine and More. They look at all that. They're like, oh,
Speak on
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I wasn't trying to call you out, man. But so I say all that to say is there one particular brand? Because you just kind of name dropped
I did.
a lot of household brands.
Household.
I can go upstairs right now and find some Oreos.
Yeah.
That's for little man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and mind you, Roy didn't say that I would think of that question because will buy a blue check or nothing. I hope that's not what people was thinking. I would never pay for the blue check. So I want to get that out there. However, so what's been your favorite brand partnership?
Yeah, good question. So, probably, ooh, man, that's a good. King's Hawaiian. King's Hawaiian was probably my favorite.
Bread.
Yeah, the bread. They on everybody's Thanksgiving table. Everybody's
it's upstairs.
It's upstairs. You know the orange package. You already know.
Yep.
Black, white. I don't care what you are. It's on your Thanksgiving
Gotta
table.
be.
That was probably my favorite. So I've actually done 2 campaigns for them separately. The creative brief was just awesome. So kind of how it works is they'll give me like a checklist of what they kind of have an idea of what they kind of want me to do. I have a little bit of I have some creative I can shoot my creative thinking into it as well. But they do have a checklist on key points that they want me to hit on and all that type of stuff. And it was kind of like a football campaign. I got to kind of tap it. I was like, I'm football, so they gave me a jersey to wear and. They gave me a whole bunch of props and stuff like that, so it was actually very, very fun. I was able to shoot it in my own home, so I would probably say King's Hawaiian is probably been my favorites. I didn't say they paid me the most, but it was my favorite.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
To piggyback off that, what's one thing that you?
They kind of just queued that up though. that was like bait right there. So
Man, just let me get this off real quick, because it could probably transition into Mondo's situation. But what's something that you've learned from working with these companies and things of that nature? Then we can
Yeah, something that I've learned is that it's the whole business side too. Oh man, that's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that. One thing that I've learned from working with these brands, that they make mistakes too.
Yeah.
They're real people. Just because Oreo's a big brand, they also make mistakes. They also say, I'm sorry, you're supposed to post today. I messed up something. You need to post tomorrow. Last minute. They're real people. They're real humans with real errors as well. So
I seen you the other day, a few days ago. You posted a message about you getting on them about like trying to push you and make you go against what you are the guidelines that you supposed to already.
yeah,
follow.
that was a brand that I ended up dropping them too because like these brands do try to push you and try to make you post when you're not supposed to post per contract, make you say things you're not supposed to say per contract, and if you're telling me to do something outside my guidelines, you need to pay me more. That's and that's gonna be that. So notice and just really kind of answer your question that they are real people and they do make real mistakes, just like every other business. They're just such on a big scale. We just hold them on a pedestal,
Right.
but they do the same stuff.
I don't even look at Oreo as a person. It's a person. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? It's people
yeah.
behind Oreo. That's crazy how your brain kind of like works like that.
Yeah.
Some American stuff.
Yep.
But he been sitting on it over there. Go ahead, get it off.
Nah, I mean, he gave you a compliment. It was a good question and all, but he kind of gave us the go ahead on the bag talk. So
Back talk.
let's start with the most unexpected bag. So who came correct with the bag that you did not even expect would come with the bag?
I think Motorola, because it was out of nowhere. It was out of nowhere. They were super last minute. They were like, "Oh, like we have this last minute campaign. We're trying to promote our earbuds, like the headphones." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." It was super last minute and 5,200. I was like, "Oh, bet. Okay, cool." That was unexpected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say that was the most unexpected for sure. So
fire.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's something like that where you get paid 5 racks, something like that.
Yeah.
Is it heavy workload or is it like a lot of posts?
Good question.
2, 1.
Good question. Yeah, so typical is 1 reel plus 3 story frames. That's typical. That's very like generic. That's like to the book. That's what every brand typically is expecting of the creator.
Can you get those 3 story posts off like during the week, or can you just knock them?
Then
out?
you got to knock them out the same day that you post your reel.
Okay.
But they give you the date and time, typically time frame on which you need to post. So like right now, like I'm posting for a brand in a couple weeks, but they've already given, I can't say the brand yet because I haven't posted it, but they've already given me the day that I have to post, the time that I have to post, and so they're checking for it like a hawk, like you better, or I'm gonna hit it. Yeah, you know what I mean.
30
So,
seconds left. To post.
exactly, they ain't waiting by their phones. So I would say Motorola was the most unexpected, and typically, it's one story or 3 story frames plus 1 reel typically, and
Now,
so
can you not compete? Like, for instance, let's say another brand wanted you to post the same day as another brand. Is there a non-compete when it comes to things like
yeah,
that?
good
Because
question.
it makes
Yep.
me think about the control of how much you can make. For instance, if it's non-compete, then maybe that 5K, you can only make 5K that week from posting.
Right.
But if there's a non-compete, you might be able to have 10 brands loaded up and you can make 50K in a week.
Right.
Posting all of them.
Yeah. So there are non-competes in every contract as well. So obviously, you're posting for Motorola, you probably shouldn't be posting for Verizon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or something like that. So there are non-competes in which that can't happen, quite frankly, and they'd probably sue me for a lot of money. You cannot do that. But as far as I have posted, for 2 different brands in the same day before because both of them wanted me to post on July 1st. And I was like, dang it, I hate doing that actually because now I seem very, very ad-like, oh, he's just posting ads. And in the same day, it's like, oh, dang, this dude just posted about bread. Now he's posting about headphones. Like, bro, pick one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't like posting in the same day. They don't mind that as long as they're not direct competitors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to these, I feel like we've talked about now a culmination of moves you
Man.
make. So I want to talk about outside of, right, the wife. Do you have, you don't have to name drop, but do you have a mentor who, when these opportunities present themselves, where you run it by them and say, hey, is this right for me?
Man, so I don't have a mentor, which is the craziest thing because I was just talking to my wife about this. I do a lot of pouring into people. I do a lot of pouring into people all day. That's what I do. And I love doing it. But I don't have a lot of mentors pouring into me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's one thing that I was just telling my wife that I would love to have. Because of somebody, where I am, you would think I had somebody pouring into, how to move correctly. Man, it's just me and YouTube. I'm telling you. I got a business partner and we bounce ideas, but I don't have a mentor who's already been there, done that. Been there, done that, and kind of sitting up where I want to be. I don't have that. I wish I had that. And so if you know anybody, let me know. I'd love to go to lunch with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have that, and preferably I'd like them to be black because again, I want to learn from somebody who look like me.
Amen.
Because white people, it's
just different.
It's different.
It's just different.
No disrespect.
Different, bro. The
No
culture,
disrespect.
bro.
It's
Yeah.
different.
See, there's this niche. Ever since I was growing up, because I'm not originally from here, but as I was growing up here, it's a niche of, to me, a certain era or our generation that we're trying to meet and create. So when I hear you say you don't have a mentor and how you would like one, I'm looking at all of it throughout this journey. How you don't have one yet is because you might end up being sort of a part of that like forefather group of mentors. Because when you think of Indy and you date back 50 years and 100 years and the progression of it and our people, it's like most of it was just get a job and build a 401k and work with a company. Or just real estate, or just one thing. But what you're doing right now, no one, you got to go to YouTube. You got to do multiple different things to get guidance because you're in a city, in an area that in this specific time on Earth hasn't generated or created what you're going through and what you're doing right now. So part of it feels sad of like, damn, I'm kind of in the same position. Don't really have a mentor. Noah got a big, decent network and things like that. And a lot of people that I know are like that from this community. And so I look at that as a sad thing, but then also a good lane for us to spearhead and create something that hasn't been done before.
That's real. Yeah.
My bad. Just to vouch off brother Rory. Yeah, we're on some futuristic stuff because like YouTube University is very real.
It
very,
is.
very, very real. I think everybody in this room done went to classes on YouTube for sure. And then just we can't even put you in a box. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here thinking, how does he file his taxes? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, my tax dude, he's
I'm about to say, you gotta have somebody
He's
to do
a genius.
it.
He went to Butler too. So
Okay.
that's yep.
nah, for sure.
Yep.
So last question I have for you, bro, is, so I've kind of been peeping you this entire, however much time we've been sitting here. You haven't checked your phone once. How does somebody that has a booking going on, somebody that got a wife and a kid at the crib, somebody who's got a gym that's currently in the process of being built, learn to detach while you're in the moment? Is that something Jeremy had to be taught, or is that something you just pride yourself on being?
Man, I have to practice and try to be present for sure. Like, kind of goes back to, like you said, wife and a kid at home. So I was everything we talked about. I just talked to my wife about this like a week ago. I'm telling you, like, I was just telling her, like, I'm trying to be home. I'm out all day, but I do try to be home by 5. Obviously, I run my own day. I can control everything that happens in my day. But at the same time, I can't get caught up in it. Shoot, man, if it was up to me, I might come home at 7, 8 just because I'm literally out doing stuff. But I do have to make a conscious effort to be there, hopefully by 5, and spend time with my son, spend time with my wife. And so I do have to practice that as well. So I am practicing just trying to be present. It's hard. I'm sure my phone blowing up, but at the same time, we here. So,
In the mix.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I peeped. I was like, man, I wonder if he's gonna grab the phone, and you didn't. So, because I watch a lot of interviews where sometimes they'll just be checking, because people be having a lot of stuff going on.
for sure.
But y'all got anything else?
So y'all can see why I've been using them for all these years.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. There's been a couple of mind blown moments. Like the whole 287 pounds was the first one. We talked about it off camera, but when you said it again, I was like, man, he actually meant it. He's not lying. Now it's on camera. And then, the Airbnb piece, because I always thought Indy was a place where you can't really get it cracking. Just looking at the numbers, right? And I'm comparing it to in LA. And then just from the sake of you just not being on your phone. So I'll close off with, I definitely appreciate you pulling up,
Yes,
being
sir.
present. And I feel like you
Likewise.
dropped crazy
lot of
gems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
lot
So
of
for
gems. No pun intended. You see how I did
Yeah.
that?
Hey, okay.
Jay Young been coming crazy today. What the heck?
Physically,
Bro, what's gotten into you?
Mix, man.
Man, holy. Man, you did your thug business. Man, with that being said, man, we appreciate you. And we'll catch y'all on another episode of Ice Cream Social. Peace.
Right on. That was good, bro.
A cream? Yeah. Ice cream? Ice cream social. Here we go.